Today I'm starting on my, I think I'm going to call it Peekaboo Wall Quilt. I don't know how many I'm going to make, but I'm going to start with this one. A lot of people were interested in the scroll quilt, so we're going to do something similar to that, except this scroll quilt had a background underneath that was pieced squares. We're not going to do that. I'm not going to do that for this first one. When you're looking at your fabrics, you're looking to have 2 layers of fabrics. 1 layer for the top layer, 1 layer for underneath. And I found, I think, what I want to use. This is my top layer. And it's kind of, well, it's not plain, but it doesn't have a lot of different colors in it. But here is my bottom layer, and there are a lot of colors. Sometimes you can piece this bottom layer, but as you see, I figured I don't need to piece this layer because there are so many colors that I can have come through there. So if you want to piece a bottom layer, that's fine. That is what I did for that. It's what I did for this. It's what I did for this quilt here. It's not what I did for this one. This one was 1 piece, but it just happened to be a piece with lots of different pinks and yellows and all. If you want to piece though, and I'm not going to use this, but I think I talked about this before. When you piece your squares, or in this case rectangles, make sure that you piece so that the rectangles, so that the seams are pressed open, because you want this to be as flat as possible. And you're going to be cutting things on top. You don't want bumps in your back fabric. Okay, so what I did for this scroll quilt, I just went and found a fabric that I liked, and I cut it at, I think this time I cut it at 16 by 30, which is bigger than I need. But I want to make sure, I always try to go bigger, and you can always, if I'm going to cut it in curves, I need some extra space. So, cut the top one. This is the bottom, or this is the color layer. It's going to go on the bottom. And I cut it, I think, about the same size. And then, before we layer them, I found a piece of interfacing, and this is Pellon 90. I had it in my closet, I don't even know, but it's a mid-weight stabilizer. Mainly, you do not want a stabilizer that has fusible on it. So you just want something that's going to give a little more stability to your quilt top, because you're going to be doing a lot of stitching on top, and you don't want it to get pulled up as you do the stitching. So here is my stabilizer. I'm going to lay it down on my table, and then this is the bottom layer. So this goes next. And lay it out so that the, I've got a lot of extra stabilizer. I'm going to lay it out flat on my stabilizer. If you need to press, press it and lay it out. Then your top layer is going to go right on top. And if your fabric has a certain way that you want to put it, if you want to flip this upside down, upside down, whatever. I always kind of try to remember what I want on top. Sometimes I even mark up at the top with a TOP or something, so that when it's covered up, I can't see it. I'm not sure what's there, which end is up. So make sure you know that. Once you have it smoothed out, then you're going to just use pins and pin this together. Pin it fairly, what do I want to say? Fairly richly, because you don't want it to move too much. I might have even, I don't know if I stitched the outside just to make sure the whole thing stayed together. But definitely pin it all together. Now, you are going to have to be stitching it here, so you're probably going to have to be removing some stitches. But you want to make sure it's stable while you're working on it. And then we'll go to the next step. But I'm going to take some time and pin this nicely, and see you in a little bit.